When do you think it started, Fez?
Washington's 106.7 WJFK. Here starts Ron and Fez.
Okay, good. You're in for that, right?
Ron and Fez.
Billy, I just caught him going over a thing for escorts. And I go, what the hell does he do during the show? I go, what are you doing? And he said, Fez and Rory are going out to a movie tonight, so I might get an escort.
To take to the movies?
No. To use in the room.
Oh, God.
Fairfax escorts he was looking for.
Yeah, all right. Billy's screen name is Virginia Ham. I know he's been looking online. Why are you looking for an escort?
Why? I have a hotel room. It's a great opportunity.
You have a guy that you split in the hotel room with.
Right. Well, Rory's in the next bed.
Well,
Knucklehead.
We were planning on watching a movie, you know, and I figured, you know, if you guys can still watch the movie and, you know, have a few beers, I think maybe it would not be good for me to be around the alcohol, so I'll just make better use of it.
You'll be with a crack whore.
No, this would be an escort. They're much more.
All right, you know what? Let me tell you. All right, so you feel like that's part of the program, using a crack whore.
An escort. There's a difference between a crack whore is a streetwalker, one you pick up on the side of the road. Escorts are classy.
All right, did you ask your, whatever the hell you call it?
My sponsor?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's too late to call him.
See, you live a lie. You live a lie. There's no part of the program who still feels like it's a good idea to get an escort, because that's still like being back in the life, Billy.
No, one has nothing to do with the other.
It does still. Then why don't you call him now?
That was part of your abusive lifestyle. When you were living that life, prostitutes were part of it.
Yeah.
And you know that you're helping them with their problems.
I think that this is a little a different situation.
Why don't you call your man then?
And there's time limits on when you can call a sponsor?
Well,
yes, they always say, call me anytime before 11, because people don't get alcoholic urges after midnight.
Right, around 2 a.m., no one's got that itch.
No, he's, you know...
Like your ear?
Yeah.
He said...
I can hear!
Seriously?
Yes!
Well, then you don't need anything. You're fine.
I'm itchy. I hear you. What, Billy?
He said if it's an emergency, I can call him at any time.
Well, this is an emergency.
It's an escort emergency. It's a fashion emergency. Look at you slop.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, I never know.
You don't know.
You see, that's why you pay an escort. They don't make fun of you. They just accept you as a car.
I bet they would still.
On the way home, they are. Trust me.
Should have seen the loser I was with. Now, I've heard this story.
When's the last time you've been to a meeting anyway, Billy?
Sunday and Sunday.
You're supposed to go every day, right?
Oh, I can't make every day.
You can too.
No, I actually...
You're still on your 90-90.
Well...
Oh, you find time for a peanut butter milkshake every day?
Well, it's not like... the diner's open. I mean...
How many times did you puke today?
Just once.
You didn't puke when we were at the diner?
Oh, twice. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So any day that at both times you eat yourself into a pitch,
yeah,
you go to throw up.
I only had half my breakfast in the milkshake. It just didn't go down.
Oh, you gobbled that down. We were trying to have a conversation, and you couldn't break from the plate to even speak up.
And then I had to finally go, what do you think, Billy? Just to get you to raise your head.
Oh, I was having a hard... Sometimes, you know what, when it doesn't go down my stapling pouch, it takes a lot of concentration. You know, it really does, because you concentrate, you shift the way you sit, and you got to, like, change, because it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So your pouch is right above your stomach? How's it work?
Right like at the top of the rib cage. Yeah, the sternum, right about here.
All right, what's going to happen is your pouch is going to start gaining weight. Your stomach will lose. You're going to look like Charles Atlas. This could work out for you.
That looks like he has a high hernia. Roy, you got a problem with him having a hooker in your room?
Yeah, I think, you're going to bring some whore into our room. I mean, that's...
All right, now you sound like the wife.
I know. You brought a whore into this house.
I don't see what the problem is, Roy.
I keep the room neat.
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't know where she's been. I don't know what she's been dropping on the floor, dripping on the floor. Who knows?
Whore juice. It's simple whore juice, that's all.
I'll keep her on my side.
Would you like another glass of whore juice?
When's the last time you've been with a hooker, Billy?
A few weeks ago.
Really?
Went to a massage parlor.
Whores running around doing their little behind shake for the menfolk.
And what it cost you?
$140.
140.
No, sorry, 120.
Now, how did it start out? Does it start out where you just got the massage and then you waited till she was done and did that anything else line?
And then she goes, you want something else?
They all have the same end.
Yeah.
Like you can't come in there and say, I'd like a simple beach.
Right.
You have to put up with their bad massages.
Yeah.
And they're never any good. It's just like a little rub.
Oh, yeah, this girl hardly wasted any time on it.
Yeah, right. Within a couple of minutes of just rubbing you, anything else? Mm-hmm. And if you're stupid enough to go, no, you just spent, $70 for nothing, not even a real massage.
It's supposed to be an hour massage. Like, come on. I'm not going to put up with an hour of this crap.
Yeah, and then what do you get for the rest of it?
Whatever you want.
All right, let's just go with what actually happened. So first she finishes very quickly and says, anything else? And what do you say?
I said, sure. And I asked how much.
How much was it?
It was like an extra $50 for each.
Beach?
Yeah.
Did you have to specifically tell her that's what you wanted?
No, I asked her because you don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, you make her name the price. Any self-respecting John knows the rules.
Right.
Usually you're in the John.
Self-respect. I never thought of you that way.
So who brought up Hummer? You or her?
She did.
Okay.
She goes, you want extra? I was like, how much? And she laid out the menu.
And okay.
I thought you had to say it so she wouldn't get busted in case you were a cop.
No, she didn't. She just said...
Did she ask if you were a cop?
No, she asked me about my scar. the stapling scar. She asked what I do. And
You want pouch job, staple boy?
At the radio, did you?
No, I didn't mention the radio.
No, I'll kick you in the face. I hear from so many people, especially when you're on Benders, you were always yelling out on Billy Staples.
Those are just rumors from people who can't. People, always trying to set me up.
Oh, all these people who never met each other all have the same damn story.
Including one of them that was a cop. And I don't care. I'm glad that you're okay again. But at the time, that was you, right?
I don't recall, really. I really don't recall the conversations.
Was it you? Seriously. And let's just end it now. We won't bring it up.
This denial can't be part of the program.
Yeah, it was me.
Now, why did you think it wouldn't get back to us?
I knew it.
I knew it.
Well, I'm better now, so I have to make amends.
I'm glad. All right. You know what? Do we have to break?
Yeah, we do.
Because I want to just come back and talk about that. It'll be a quick break. It's Ron and Fez. All right, Billy just brought up some stuff, and although, as far as being amends, we had to come yanking it out of him, but I guess it was late last summer when this all was happening, Billy?
Yeah, but first off, with the amends, I'm not up to that step yet, so this is an early session for me, so I'll make amends now. And
all right, what step is amends?
9th.
Okay. What step are you on?
Still working. I haven't officially gone over the first yet with my sponsor.
So you're still working on first step.
Well, first 1, 2, and 3 are they go hand in hand. No, I can't. He can. So let him.
So you haven't gotten that.
Oh, I did. I do that on a daily basis. So.
Yeah.
Right. So what we're referring to is back several months ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy and I got calls on. I think it was on a Monday.
Crazy calls.
From people that said, yeah, they saw Billy Staples in an adult club, drunk off his ass, acting the fool, and actually having to be escorted from the place. I don't go as far as to say dragged from the place.
As he was saying, I'm Billy Staples from the Ron and Fez show, and I'll have your ass, and listen tomorrow, we're going to kill you in the air.
Exactly. That's how people knew it was you.
Well, yeah,
even that.
They come calling me and Fez, going, you better calm your boy down. And you said they were all lying.
And I did a pretty damn good job of it.
And
we know.
And it was people that never met each other. We were getting calls from different folk.
Including a cop that had pulled you over 5 o'clock in the morning when you were with a Russian.
A Czechoslovakian.
All right,
yeah.
Czechoslovakian.
The cop knew all the details. He knew your exact kind of car that you were in. He knew that you were with a Czech.
Yeah.
All right, now how would anyone who was just making this all up to make you look bad come up with all the details?
Because it was true, Fez.
And now here's the other weird thing, Billy.
Yeah.
I made you swear to God to me, out there, that it wasn't because I was concerned about you. And then we were also going through a thing. Remember, you had a fight with Fezzy. Your mood swings were so crazy. You weren't remembering anything that happened the day before. You were really in a state at that time.
And let me ask this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, since you're coming clean now.
Okay.
And that's cool. That was also the same weekend where you came back to work on Monday, all banged up, and you told us you were in a car wreck. Were you in a car wreck, or was that the bouncer dragging you out of that club?
No, that was a car wreck.
Drunk driving wreck?
No.
But it was the same weekend.
Yeah. No. There was not. That was actually the night before. The night before I got into the car wreck.
But I will say this: the period that you're in right now, when you do start drinking, you're never completely sober. Again, you're not like this Billy. When you're drinking, if you drink on a Monday night, Tuesday and Wednesday, your personality is thrown off. It's not the same guy.
Because I put myself through a personal hell that is unlike anything else. I mean, it's like the remorse the day after. Like, I cannot believe I did that again.
Yeah.
And I beat myself up so bad.
Well, how long was this bender? Because it went on a while.
It was sporadic. And that's the truth. You know, it was sporadic.
And I remember here was the thing. Because you were getting gigs.
Right, that's right.
And you had that fast cash in your hand.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fezzi and I went around going, should we let him do this many gigs? He's in bars. He's got money. And, you know, anytime I hear you're drinking the O'Douls. And you know what? I just heard that about another friend of mine the other day, and I'm like, I know he's partying again. You know, I know he's whacked.
Yeah. And in Billy's case, it was zero supervision as well. Nobody was out there with him. Maybe some salespeople.
Well, you know, we heard from salespeople. We heard from Mikey D. You were calling Mikey D a liar. Remember Mikey saw you in the club, and he said that you were yelling and acting.
Knocked over a plant.
Yeah.
Oh, but
at the ale house.
Yeah. But no. Okay, yeah. It's coming clean time. I never drank at a gig.
No, I'm not saying that you drank at a gig, but you were drinking after, and then the next night you have a gig, and you're not yourself at all at any time once you start partying again.
Oh, I'm a different person. I'm the first one to admit that. It takes me a long time to get back into it's the whole idea of wanting to drink and not being able to that makes me absolutely nuts. And the absolute remorse when I know I've screwed up, and the fear of coming in here and knowing, oh, God, somebody's going to call.
Right.
You know, what?
And they always do, don't
and
they?
I remember you were ready to quit over different reasons then, and I know it had to do with drinking.
I don't recall that, Ronnie. I honestly don't.
You came and me and you sat and talked, and you were talking about the stress of the show, and you felt like your balls were getting too busted. And I'm like, man, this isn't how he was sounding. You know, you weren't shaving and stuff like that.
I can always tell by the look because you go in the bathroom and you slick back your hair and you try to do some De Niro thing with your hair, and then we immediately know that you've been drinking when it's slicked back Willie.
And the only reason why he splashes water in his face before he comes in, so the top of the hair gets wet, so he starts to slick it all back. I'm maintaining.
Billy freaks around the house.
Yeah, no, I was a much different person. It was really a tough year. I'm just lucky that I made it through it, and I had that kind of epiphany in December and straightened my ass out when I had all that extra money. And I was like, this could be real trouble.
Yeah, when you got your fake lawsuit money, we were really concerned.
Yeah.
No, the money was real.
Were you drunk the day that you
thought? The lawsuit wasn't.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think you were.
No. If I'm coming clean, I'm telling you, I was absolutely sober on that.
Hey, Mikey D.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hi, Mikey D.
We're talking to Billy. Do you remember last year when he was on the bender and swore to us that he wasn't?
Yes, I do.
And called you a liar for saying the things that you said. It was the same time that the cop was lying.
Right, the cop had pulled him over.
Right.
Mikey D, you're just an expert at this with time and calendars. You'll know the exact date. It was the weekend of Inky's birthday.
I'd have to say it was sometime in October.
Was it that late? I thought it was well before that.
I thought so, too.
Yeah.
Mikey, when was the plant thing? I don't remember.
The plant thing was at the old ale house. You were knocking over the plant, bumping into people.
Oh, right.
People, show me your hiney for a hiney.
Oh, yeah. That had nothing to do with drinking.
Now, at the same time, when the cop pulled you over, did you have to say that you were Billy Staples, or he recognized you?
He knew me.
Yeah.
He saved me. Whoever he was, thank you, because he saved my ass.
Well, you're saying thank you. When he called us, you called him an effing liar. The guy who saved you probably...
Well, I'm not going to come clean. I couldn't come clean to anyone else if I wasn't clean with myself.
I wish your clothes could come clean.
But
I didn't be honest with any of you guys or anybody else if I was not even honest with myself.
But I just want to point this part out. And now you're better.
I can't look at him.
Now that you're better again. Here's a guy who you just said saved you, yet on the phone that night, you called him an effing liar. A guy who kept you out of prison, kept you from losing your license yet again, and your Czechoslovakian gay date. Who was this guy?
Billy, you lied to me that night because he had spoken to me too and told me about the whole thing. And I said to you, listen, this guy can't be lying. He knows too much. And you said, no way, man. He's making it all up.
Because you knew about the check.
I mean, the guy was legit, and he was telling me.
And you know why? Because Mikey D had already met the Czechoslovakian that night, so how could the cop possibly know too?
That's exactly right. It was the night of the old ale house, and I met the Czechoslovakian friend, who I had no idea who that was.
Oh, that's right. We went to the strip joint afterwards.
Right. That's when you were pulled over, and you lied to me.
Well, Mike, I lied to everybody. Don't take it that personal.
What are you doing hanging around with Czechoslovakians?
Oh, he was a friend who was
dealer?
We met. No, absolutely not. He was one of the waiters.
You smoking crack or just drinking?
Just drinking.
You cannot drink, buddy.
I know.
Not a drop.
Absolutely not. I'm not even the whole duels thing was a mental screw up on my part. You know what?
You were drinking all duels that night.
I know. Yeah, I know. I did that.
Drinking any beers?
I did that in front of people. You know, then when I was on my own, it was another story.
Where were you drinking that night? Your Czechoslovakian buddy didn't work?
The strip club.
Now, is he a real friend of yours, or?
He was a waiter at the resort I go to in the summer.
So he
Resort or rehab?
He wasn't somebody who knew that you were trying to stay sober.
No, he had no idea about that.
Yeah.
And he was on his way back to Czechoslovakia and missed his...
You're the only guy that would hang out with a Czechoslovakian waiter.
Sonny, he missed his boat and wasn't able to get back.
You know, that had to be a personal low. Me and the Czechoslovakian waiter are hanging out tonight.
Well, he was going back. He was going into the army. He had to go join the Czech army.
Yeah, against us.
So,
we're helping terrorists.
I take him out and show him a good time.
Well, I knew there was something wrong that night when he was knocking down plants.
Mike, I wasn't drinking then.
You must have been doing something, Billy, because...
Billy, I'm telling you, when you're drinking...
I knock down things normally.
When you're drinking again, 2 days later, the mood swings are still there and the crazy... You
don't sober up.
No, and then you're introducing my wife, and then they say, you could do her, everybody else has.
Oh, that's just drunk and wrong.
Billy?
Well, Mikey, I owe you an apology, and I am very sorry.
Billy.
Are you really sorry, though, Billy?
No, I am truly sorry, because I lied to a lot of people, and a lot of people I consider very good friends, and because of my drinking, my alcoholism, I did and said things that I totally regret.
Jeff is in here. He's a kid that brought us Domino's. You think he means it when he says he's sorry, Jeff? Because you don't know him, right?
I don't know him. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
But if you had to guess, what would you say?
I think he's trying to be as sincere as possible.
But he's not.
He's lying.
You can say whatever you want, Jeff.
I think he drank last night.
Mikey, I'm not lying. If I'm coming clean on all this now, what would I have to lie about? I feel like...
clean now because you've been caught, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't caught in anything. I decided it was time to start making my amends. I didn't get caught doing anything. I'm 64 days sober.
You're 64 years old.
No, I'm 44 years old. 4 days sober.
All right, now about a month ago, you were trying to help other people, and you haven't even made your amends yet.
No, amends take a long time.
And these amends aren't even working. You're not that sorry.
I am you don't know the guilt I feel inside that I've been kidding. That's why I go to therapy 3 times a week.
You know, Billy, you're preaching to Fezzi and Roy out there drinking. And then
Although, let me say this.
You've been like a drunk yourself.
Not during that time, Mike.
When we came into the hotel last night, the bartender sees him, puts up 2 big bars, and puts out snack trays.
You know what? I believe it.
Not for me, Mike.
We never gave him a shout-out tonight.
Oh, Ricky's playing poker.
Yeah.
Playing blackjack with his buddy.
I'm sure he's not listening this way, huh?
They're still going. Trust me. If he made it in the snow.
Yeah.
Billy, are you drinking again?
Absolutely not, Mike.
You're screwing up my openings.
I know. What's going on there?
What's going on? I send openings. He doesn't do it. He does another version of it. And then he screws up the ones that he does.
All right. Your way of becoming evil is just do them properly. All right?
Mike, that'll be my word to you. And please extend my apologies to your lovely wife.
Did you want to make amends to me?
Yeah, I apologize to Ron and to Fez.
Now, just to me, about the lying thing when I came to you and said I'm trying to help and you got mad at me.
No, Ron, you definitely get a special apology because you did try to help, and as one to another, you know, I was not ready to make that commitment to that honesty.
But you know what you want to do this too? Here's how we can clean this up between me and you. Give me $800. $800 and everything is cool.
What are we up to, step 9 again?
Well, no, Believe me, because of this tonight, he'll be drinking.
We're back down the steps again. We've fallen down the steps again.
He takes steps up and an escalator down.
I have my big book in my room. Maybe I'll spend the night with my big book.
He makes a lot of money going up and down the steps and falling off.
All right, Mike, you made your point.
Our own Billy Staples has moved along far enough that he started making his amends to us.
So he's made it up to that step, whatever it might be.
9, I believe.
Nice.
Check with him.
Nice. He's almost into double-digit steps.
Yeah. Now, is this your first time anyone's ever made amends to you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's basically the first time I've ever gotten an apology from anyone.
My problem is it doesn't seem like enough of apology. You know, it could be a little more. It could be a little more sincere.
Not for what we got put through. You're absolutely right, because this happened back, I think, early October, when Billy Staples, we got all kinds of reports on a Monday that Billy was drunk, he was belligerent, and worst of all, in a club, throwing around the Ron and Fez brand name.
Saying that he was going to use his position in radio to destroy these people. Then we got a call from a cop who had pulled him over, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And let him go because he was with us on the show. And then when the cop called in and told us, Billy called him a liar.
Right, and we went after Billy on this. Everyone, we were getting all kinds of eyewitness reports, people that didn't even know each other. Billy defiantly looked us in the face, bold-faced lied, and said it was not him. People were out to get him, Ronnie, and making up crap.
Yeah. Now, this happened off the air and also on the air, where we were going, Billy, how the hell could this be? That everybody's just making up lies about you at the same time.
Right, I remember that because we actually said to him, all right, now we're off the air. We're in the office. Was it you?
Yeah.
No, I swear. These callers hate me.
And then, even some of our good buddies like Mikey D and people from the station, no, that's an absolute lie. So, but Billy, last night you picked as a night to kind of come clean about that, right?
Yes, and it felt very good. It was time. It was a little jump ahead in my recovery plan going to step 9, but there was a time, and I talked to my sponsor
you're taking it
today.
You're taking the steps 3 at a time now. You're just hopping.
No, I'm not two-stepping it.
He's doing a Texas two-step.
Nice, like W.
All right, what did your sponsor say?
He said that it's good, that it finally came out because keeping that stuff inside and living a lie and trying to remember your lies and what you told to who and this and that, it really takes its toll after a while. And I felt bad about lying to you guys, but under circumstances I had to.
All right, well, let's get the official amends because last night you just kind of blurted it out and we were shocked. So tell us exactly what you want to say and we'll clear this space.
Sure.
Yeah, because I wasn't shocked that you lied. I was shocked getting an amends.
All right. Well, first off, that not everything I did on the air was because of my drinking. But what
night?
No, I mean everything that has happened was everything that happened, whether it be good or bad or whatever, was not a result of my drinking. My drinking started again after the Rock and Ribs party. I mean the frightened Hollywood night.
All right, you take your time and
we never had a Hollywood night party.
I know that you're caught in a web of lies, and I want you to relax. Breathe deep and go head back and say it.
This is difficult.
I understand.
It was the big-ass night of frights.
All right, so it's Halloween party.
Yeah, the Halloween party. That was a Thursday. And when on that Friday show, certain things came out about the girl I took, Inky, and she was with other guys and stuff.
Right.
Your date for the big party.
Yeah, that Saturday night is when I went off the deep end, started really drinking again, and that lasted for about 6 weeks. And that's when all of these phone calls and reports and lies started coming in. So I just want to make it clear on one thing. I am making the amends to you guys and to Rory because this helps me to stay sober.
Right, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, and I do mean it sincerely. I'm not doing it selfishly. But the fact that I had to come in and lie to you guys because I felt that if I did tell the truth, I wasn't being honest with myself about my problem with the alcohol.
Right.
And I certainly couldn't be honest with you guys, and I was afraid of the repercussions if I came clean.
Uh-huh.
And that's...
Wait a minute, that's a little bit of a shot at us, like we're not understanding people.
No, I'm just talking about...
And we would chuck you out for being drunk.
I didn't say chucked out, though. I'm just saying,
I did.
That you guys would be disappointed in me. That if things, this is how I took it.
Right.
This is how I felt. Because I was putting myself so down and kicking myself in the ass so much for every time when you go out and you drink and you have a great time and you wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, God, what did I do now? I didn't even remember half the stuff I did. And like when that Monday, when the guy called up about being thrown out of the club, I didn't even remember half of that night.
Well, you know that it was you.
Oh, yeah. I knew it was me.
You knew something had happened.
Did you know that you were throwing around the name of the show and saying this guy, I'm Billy Staples from the Ron Fez show?
I cringe every time I hear it recalled.
And you were literally going, that wasn't me. And the guy was describing you to a T. Mm-hmm. And you're going, I swear to God, that's not me.
I know. I was in a dead-on panic. When you're in a panic, you bring
He knew your hometown where the club was.
You know, Fezzi, did you believe him or did you think that he was drinking?
Oh, I definitely believed he was drinking. I never, ever thought he was telling the truth about that night.
Here, and I wonder what this says about me. After going over everything on the air and then off the air with him, I believed he was telling the truth.
No way.
And I really feel that I'm good at knowing a BS factor in my life. And I honestly believed him.
Yeah, you're a human lie detector.
Yeah. But is that because I want to believe? That I want to believe that, the disease can be kicked?
I think you want to believe that, and, I wouldn't blame yourself too much because here's the thing. You got lied to by the best in the business.
Yeah, but still, I've caught him in other lies and never gets, you know what I mean? I know when he's, doing other things.
Well,
why? Just because I'm curious.
Sure.
Why did you let the Yankee thing bother you so much?
Because it was my self-esteem, like part of the problem.
I had to fill everybody in this. Billy kind of had a date with a girl who's much too young for you, probably.
She's less than half your age.
Yeah. She's younger than your daughter.
But I thought she was interested in me.
Right. So you thought that she was, and then that night, while you were on stage with us at this big celebration, and you took care of her, and you guys wore funny costumes, matching costumes.
Based on a previous incident.
Right. She was, right, where she kind of cheated on you. And even though you're not together enough for it to be cheating, but she was seen by a lot of our listeners making out, allegedly. I don't really remember the whole thing.
We saw
with another, yeah.
Someone actually, a listener from the that was at the party, actually showed up at the studio with the developed film of her making out with this other guy, and he was actually giving her a Buford. He had his head under her blouse.
All right, you're going to send him back to the bottle fence because you're doing it.
I'm just trying to inform.
So is this because you liked her so much and your heart was broken? You fell off the wagon after all these years and started drinking?
You know what, Ronnie?
Well, actually,
it brought up a lot of old feelings inside me, with my first marriage and being rejected. With what happened with my first wife. And
what happened
leaving
there?
Fill
everybody in.
Well, she left me for my landlord.
All right.
And, she kicked me out and married him.
And you actually saw them having sex?
Yeah.
You walked in on him.
I walked in on him.
Well, you were actually part of it at first. And then
no, the first time...
Were you drinking then?
Oh, yeah, this was a long time ago.
So during a drunken thing, you let there be three-way sex with your landlord?
No. It was I was with his girlfriend, and he was with my wife. But
that's not fair trade, by the way.
No, not at all. You should have seen his girlfriend.
I mean, even though, anybody will give their girlfriend away.
Right.
But when it's your wife.
She was retarded.
Mother of your child. Was she?
Yeah, she was like one of those slow people.
You humped a retarded person.
Oh,
so did she.
That's true. Fair enough. I think I leaned on something.
You and me.
Let's see. Yeah,
it was your side.
All right, I got it.
Well, it was actually kind of a revenge thing, because when I walked in, we were all out drinking. It was my birthday, and this was what I got for my birthday present. We were all drunk.
This happened on your birthday?
Yeah. I know why I'm such a friggin' mess. And they started going at it, and I'm sitting there going, what in God's name is this? Meanwhile, here's the woman I met, going out with since 9th grade. Never been with another guy, supposedly, and all of a sudden this is going on.
You or her? All right.
I'm being serious, Bill.
All right. So here's the thing. You did the wife swapping thing. You were into it for that night.
No.
But it kept going.
I got to admit, you know what? I wasn't into it, but it was just like, you know what? Screw it. If she's doing it, I'm doing it. You know?
All right. But she kept doing it.
Yeah. And because I was going to college at nights, so I was never home. And I used to be like sneaking around.
What did you get your degree in?
Criminal justice.
Really? What degree do you have?
Well, I'm a couple of credits short after I transferred from phys ed.
Couple of credits short of an AA.
All right, so you didn't even get the degree and you lost your wife.
Well, no. I mean, I stopped going to college.
So when Anky was making out, That set something off on you.
Yeah, because this was the second time that happened with Inky. She did that to me at a Christmas party made out with another guy. The chicken parm night.
Yeah. The Fez showed you.
Yeah, because what happened that first time she cheated on you, if we want to use that strong of a term. What happened was Billy was with this girl. He bought her dinner. We were all out at a bar. We were having a good time. And I said to him, we were standing up at the end of the night, and I said to him, I go, wasn't Inky with you tonight? I saw you being very snuggly.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I bought her dinner. And I tapped Billy on his shoulder and pointed over his shoulder, and he turned around to see her making out with another guy, and he screamed, "What the F?"
Not 5 feet from me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she was right behind you. That's why I went ahead and asked. It's not like I caught them in the stairwell.
No. So the thing is, we're all kind of agreed she's not the gal for you.
She's the worst.
She's a nice person. She is. She might be a little too young for him, and she might be a little too much of a party girl. But no matter what, she's not right for him. But why would that send him into another, hitting the bottom again?
Because if you count it up, it was only 2 nights.
Yeah, but it was 2 nights, and the fact is, it happened again, and it brought back feelings of rejection and low self-esteem in me that for years I've always killed the feelings with an alcohol or a drug.
Right.
So instead of feeling the pain and the hurt, I was like, screw it, I don't want to feel this again.
All right, so you went back, you started drinking.
Yeah.
Were you drinking alone, or were you drinking at bars? Where were you drinking?
I would go out. No, I definitely went out alone because I always wanted to be like, okay, I'm going to go out alone. No one's going to know. And then I'd go there and start shooting my mouth off after a couple of cocktails.
So, as you're sneaking around, knowing that listeners are such bastards that they would call them a heartbeat, you just start saying, hey, how are you? And you're having fun.
Yeah.
I'm Billy Staples from Ron and Faz. And they're like, hey.
Yeah, so some people would recognize the voice or something like,
the shape, yeah.
Yeah, the stories. And
maybe you're one of the reasons why he's been drinking.
Me?
No, it does add up.
I'm a prince.
It takes a toll.
Go ahead.
It takes a village to drive a drunk back to the bottle.
It takes a village to get an idiot drunk.
No, but I mean, there's no one to blame but myself, seriously.
And
And, I would go out with the best of intentions.
It's supposed to be my amends, not my blame.
And in that 6 weeks, I learned, finally, one valuable lesson. And this is, I've been in AA in and out for 20-some-odd years.
All right, let's not use the name of the thing.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. I slipped on that.
All right, 20 years you've been...
I've been in and out of the program with disease.
Yeah, even rehabs and everything.
Yeah, 5 rehabs.
How many sleepaway rehabs?
2 sleepaways, 3, what do they call them?
Outpatient?
Outpatient, thank you. And
get outpatient.
No, well, I did eventually. And countless meetings and sponsors. I mean, I was never... But for the first time, I realized after that 6 weeks period, once I took that first drink, I was out of control. Because every time it happened, I wound up getting pulled over, getting in trouble, passing out in the parking lot, coming in with bruises. And I was like, it always starts with that first drink. I never have one drink. It never friggin' happens. As much as I plan, I'm not going to go and party my ass off and everything else. It all of a sudden, after all these years, it hit me. You can't drink the old duels. You can't have one lousy drink. Because you know what? That one lousy drink is going to wind your ass back up in jail.
And as soon as you went off a little bit, you were back to being a blackout drinker.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's amazing.
Without a doubt.
It is. But you know what? You brought that up, and it's amazing because the few times, and it's very rare that you've drank with me, but every time you did, there was an episode. You're absolutely right. I never thought of that. I thought I was just lucky that I caught him on a really bad night. But
now,
yeah, you're right.
Fez, weren't you reading me a study the other day about problem drinkers and what part of the beer business they're in?
Yeah, the liquor sales in this country, $57 billion comes from underage drinkers and problem drinkers, or at least over drinkers, people who
kind of binge
too
drinkers,
much. Binge drinkers, good. Yeah, and that $57 billion, that makes up half of the liquor sales, beer and liquor sales in this country.
Wow.
So 50% of the money the liquor industry is making is coming from people who shouldn't be imbibing.
Right.
Well,
those are the people trying to hang around past last call, or the people that are heading to the liquor store before it closes.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's me.
I know.
I'm in both those categories.
Are you trying to hang around past last call?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Look at Billy.
Yeah,
Look at the ghost of Christmas future.
bartenders where they actually know you.
Right.
And they know what you want to drink already, and you walk in, they go,
Is this my amends or not?
No, I'm talking running about my own personal story.
Right.
When you'd walk in and we'd go, hey, Billy, hey, and you'd
like your norm.
Here's the snacks you like, and I already got your draft out.
All right, you're talking about me again.
Yeah, I am.
And this is supposed to be my amends.
Well, I learned that, one thing you learn is, and a lot of people don't accept the disease concept, but alcoholism is a progressive disease. Once you have it, if you stop for 8 years, when you start again, you're going to be right where you were if you were drinking that 8.5 years. That's how bad it is. So every time I drank in that 6-week period, I blacked out. So.
Well, if you think it this way, let's suppose you're a tennis player. If you take 8 years off, you don't become a better tennis player. You know what I mean? The knees are shot, and they start from there. Like any kind of an injury, it's not going to really heal for an athlete.
Yeah.
And if you're a sports drinker like Billy was.
How much were you drinking? Because I know it doesn't take you a lot to go nutty.
Oh, no. Believe it or not,
were you drinking a lot during these blackout binges?
Well, a lot had to do with my medication, too.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to drink with the antidepressants.
And Downs.
And the Xanax, yeah. I'm not supposed to drink with that because that intensifies the effects of alcohol.
Right. Were you taking yourself off of your meds, too?
No.
So you remember to keep taking your pills, but with a cocktail.
Yeah, because the whole thing is I wanted to feel nothing. So what better way to feel nothing than to mix the two? If my ultimate goal is to be comfortably numb, to feel nothing, then why wait and to drink when you can do it faster with drinking and with pills?
Were you having any fun at all?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
In the beginning, when I still remembered.
By the end of the night, it was always a bad night when we woke up.
The end of every night was abysmal. Okay, amends time, my Pennsylvania trip. The sleigh riding accident down the hill?
Right.
Never happened.
What was it?
It was me passing out in a parking lot.
And that's how you...
hit my head.
Yeah, you came in with your head all scraped up.
You came back and told us that you went to the Poconos by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To that resort you always go to.
You stole a...
pizza tray
or something like that, or a waiter's tray.
Yeah, dinner tray.
And slid down the hill and hit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we called you a liar.
Right.
I said you had to be drunk to do it.
Ron, you even said, and I remember this distinctly, you were probably passed out in a parking lot somewhere.
Is that right?
I almost died. Like, how the hell did you know that? And I was like, some guy woke me up. It was like 20 degrees. He drove me back to the resort. I woke up, came to the next morning. I had no money, no car. I didn't know where anything was. I couldn't find my car. It was like, I was like a total panic. It was just like, you know what?
When you say you had no money, you mean you spent it all on booze, or someone took your wallet?
I got rolled.
Yeah.
By somebody that you were hanging with, or you don't even know?
Probably. I didn't even remember going to this bar.
Did you lose, like, your watch and your phone and stuff?
I lost my briefcase, but that came back because I found, like, part of that. That was in the car. And it just...
So does it matter, you misplaced the car?
Lost my telephone.
Right, yeah. I remember that happening.
Yeah.
All right, we got a break. We'll come back and pick this up. Billy, coming clean.
Finally.
It feels good.
See, I believe the sledding on a dinner tray story.
Why would you tell... Well, we'll pick it up.
Okay.
Because I want to see why that was the story. But Billy, once again, he's always amazing me, Fez.
As we find another layer to this big drunk onion. That's actual sounds from a night Billy was drinking on the air.
I think you should...
Let's play a little bit of the night Billy was drinking on the air so you can see it now through your sober eyes, Billy.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
That was an interesting time because that was when Billy said, I've always gone to rehab for someone else. Now I'm going to drink for me.
That was my disease, live and kicking, talking to me, telling me I didn't have a problem.
There you go. This is from the night Billy was drinking on the air.
And by the way, Cam Daddy was saying, I never met anybody like Billy before. He never knew anybody back from rehab, let alone such a 5-time loser. All right, this is literally Billy when he's drinking on the air.
Baby, I'm loving every second of this.
Why are you loving it, Billy?
Hey, fucking wife, if you were married as long as I am, you've been loving every minute of this.
That was a real sound that came out of a person who's supposed to be human.
So we always kept that for him.
I was having a little trouble forming sentences that evening.
I mean, you actually go to a primitive life form when you drink like that.
And that was probably the last thing I remember of that evening, trying to get that sentence out, whatever the hell I was trying to say, and just totally giving up on it and going, just like...
Right.
Because I knew I just couldn't even finish a thought.
The final primal grunt.
Yeah. The thoughts were in my head, but they weren't going to my mouth. It was just like it wasn't happening.
So this time you're going to make it?
Ronnie, there's no guarantees in sobriety. There's no guarantee. I just make it to today, I talked to my sponsor. We had a long talk today about some of the things we discussed yesterday.
What was that? You mean stuff on the air?
Yeah. About...
when you started festing up?
Yeah. And we talked for about 20 minutes downstairs when you guys went upstairs, when I was sitting downstairs. And we had a long talk, and he asked me, so we're going to see each other over the weekend. And I'm probably going to go to a 4th Step workshop with him.
Explain that to people.
Okay, 4th Step is one that in the 20 years that I've been in the program, I've never done because I'm afraid of it, and I never realized how afraid of it. What is it? It's a searching and fearless moral inventory where you have to look inside yourself for all your character defects and all the things that you've done and all your things that are wrong with you, and actually make a list of them.
If you want, I'll give you my list that I have for you.
I think it should be personally done by me.
How many copies of that you want, Ronnie? Because I got it in the filing cabinet.
This goes way back before my history with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is my whole life.
And you only get one weekend to do this?
No. This is it's a workshop to tell you how to do it.
Oh.
To give you a
Because you're going to need a month.
Oh, a 4th Step does take a long time.
You're not helping him, Fez. Just so I can point that out.
He's being honest. I'm being honest.
No, you're being honest about him.
It's the uninformed. You have to explain. Fez has never been in a recovery program, so when your time comes, you'll understand.
Yeah.
My time isn't coming.
Please,
chunky drunky.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Mm-hmm.
In the blizzard last night, he's screaming, "Get the 7-Eleven!"
Well, it's going to close.
Roy said he wanted to say something to you, Billy, but now you're doing okay.
Well, Ronnie, I'm sober today.
Yeah.
And I'm not making as many meetings as I would like.
Hey, what do you do, the stuff that you came to with me and Fez where we went, we never said, okay, we forgive you. I don't know what we're supposed to say. But do sometimes people get mad at you?
Most of the time, amends are met with a decent attitude. Like it says, like I said, I've never really done it before, but from what I read in the big book, they usually met. There are some people who will still hold the resentment and the grudge, and until you make amends and do the 4th Step, you hold the resentment, and a resentment is one of the worst things an alcoholic can have.
Your own resentment?
Yeah. If I hold a resentment against somebody or something that happened,
you have to forgive them. I
have to forgive them. Or it may even be something minuscule, something tiny. But I'll carry around that resentment, and it won't go, until I finally, I pray to, you pray to let it go, or you talk to them and you get it out in the open.
Right.
And you'll agonize over something as small as somebody saying something to you a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like normal people don't agonize over stuff like that. It's just the alcoholic brain. The alcohol you focus on things that aren't so important because we're overly sensitive people. We really are. I mean, an alcoholic is a very sensitive person, very low self-esteem. Not very sociable in the fact that we can be in a crowded room and we feel alone.
Yeah, but you do seem more social than any of us.
You're really gregarious. You meet everybody.
And you're annoying with it.
That's why, at here at WJFK, that's why you're told to stay in the office when we're not around.
And that's why, when we're all in the car together on the train, these guys fight to not be the one who has to sit next to you.
No, that's...
And I always end up there.
That's childish.
And I keep hearing, Ronnie, what do you think? And I'm like, you ever notice when I put on the headphones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like I get treated like I'm the ogre under the bridge.
Yeah.
Trek.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times you'll actually pick the side of Ronnie's headphones up off his ear to talk into it.
You have done that. You have done that.
Well, I feel very alone.
Mm.
But isn't that what you want?
No.
I put on sunglasses, too.
No.
I put on the sunglasses, I put on the headphones.
A lot of times I'll see him waving his hand in front of your sunglasses to see if you're actually awake or not.
I always pretend I'm sleeping. I lean to one side. And I do my own mantra. Please, Billy, stop. Please, Billy, stop.
See, these are things that I have to, pray to get rid of some of the resentments over.
You're welcome. What is it, Roy?
Well, Billy, I mean, I'm sad to hear that you say you're alone, but when you do something like just completely lie to people, especially me, who's, I consider you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Besides my coworker, I consider you my friend, and I've gone to bat with you with that whole inky thing. I'm always trying to help you out and always trying to be there for you. And then I find this stuff out that, you just completely lied right to our face, off and on the air.
Yeah, but you got him liquor before. You let him come to your house and party. Yeah. You might be part of his problem.
You actually rolled him one night during a drunken poker game.
Yeah, that's true.
You took money off of him.
Seriously, if you're acting like you're mad at what part? That he lied so much?
That he lied so much and that he didn't come to me and say, hey, Rory, look, I lied. I have a problem. I didn't mean to lie to you.
All right, Rory,
you're my friend.
How big is your ego that you think that you could save Billy?
I don't think I could save him, but I could help him.
How? What would you do?
By just him opening up to me, by him
you don't
talking
even help
to me.
yourself.
You don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. And yet you, honest, no.
He don't even have a license, Lisa.
All kidding aside, do you really think that when Billy's at his worst, you can help him?
I think when anyone's at any worst, whether it's drinking, drugs, emotions, if they can have someone they can talk to, if someone will talk to them and open up to them.
Why is it you? What is so special about you?
Because I see him 5 days a week. We work alongside each other, and I can help him with the day-to-day routines.
I've only heard you open your mouth to insult him.
True.
Right.
If anything, you pick on him a lot.
But that's just being nice.
That's fine for you.
No, it's more of like an endearing, shots at him.
Well, now we're finding out that these little shots are being held in resentment for months at a time.
Not only that, but God, Billy, I'll let you answer him. Why didn't you come to this intelligent young man, Rory Hampton's?
Pledgeless.
Well, first off, if I'm going to go to someone for help regarding my problem with drinking, it's going to be someone who has experience in recovery. Someone that you're not going to, go to. I'm not going to go to, go to Fez and, like with a medical problem.
Right.
Any problem. Handle stuff.
No, you know what I'm saying.
Skin things.
If I had a brain tumor, I wouldn't come over your house.
I'm going to tell you the truth, Fez. There's a lot of things I don't tell you because I don't think you'll handle it. So I just keep it inside. Forget it. It's your turn, Billy.
What?
No, as close as Rory and I have been working together and stuff, there still is, we're a friendship, but it's not where we would be like, a confiding kind of thing. Yeah, we talk about girls, we talk about relationships, things that happen in our lives, but, when your life is on the down and outs, I have other people who are closer to me that I would confide in. Like, I've confided in Ron a couple of times because of our similar histories.
And none of it worked out. But me and Stevie Baldwin took him someplace. It was all celebs, and he was moaning all the way through it. And when he left, Baldwin said to me, why don't you come back tomorrow? We won't see Billy again. I go, no.
Really?
Yeah. And I told Billy about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, and I was, because I was this was 3 times ago that Billy was in trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to Baldwin, no, I mean, he goes, hey, man, he ain't getting it. Don't let him drag you down. And then he invites me to this other thing, and everybody there was going, don't let him get you on the edge.
Wow.
So, that's what I'm pointing out to Rory. What is it about you that's so special?
Well, it doesn't have to be someone who's got experience,
I would call you if I wanted to know how to use a beer funnel. Other than that, I wouldn't have any other drinking questions for you.
But if you're depressed, I had a bout of depression when I was much younger, and when you just surround yourself with a lot of people, you get over it,
Says who? What scientific thing says the way to get past depression is to throw a party? No,
Dr. Hampton?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Now, I'm not saying throw a party.
It's when you want to introduce everyone to your new personality, Peter Brady.
No, I'm not saying a party. I'm not saying, going and running around doing crazy things. I'm saying surround people with you where you can, talk to people, explain to them, hey, look, I have a problem, can you help me?
All right.
The more people you tell, the little bit more that they can help you.
All right, just to give you this wake-up call. All right, you know Billy's history, right?
Yes.
And you're splitting a room with him, and you drink in front of him every single night. How do you think that affects him?
Well, if he had a problem with it, he could have came up and told me.
But he's not going to do that. You're supposed to be this wise person. And yet it never once dawns on you, I know this guy's on the edge, and yet I'm always partying in front of him. And I'm not saying you're responsible and you have nothing to do with his drinking, I'm saying this. No one is going to come to you, Rory.
But
no one should. Any drunk that came to you and said, I have a problem, they would have even a worse problem.
But I think his drinking problem stems from emotions.
How do you know? What in your background tells you this? Because you're a binge drinker.
His brother's a psychiatrist.
Right.
And I met him and he was drunk off his ass. And I ended up having to chuck him out of a bar.
He gets drunker than Billy.
But the problem you keep saying is you feel alone. You feel like, no one's there for you.
Rory, this goes way back before this job and working with you and you guys and stuff.
I realize.
I don't want that to hurt you, Rory. I don't want that to hurt your feelings because everything should revolve around you like you're the sun.
That's the entire thing. Rory's feelings are so hurt by this that he wasn't included.
Well, I just felt like we had a bond together that, like I went to bat for him, I stuck up for him, and I was just hoping that at least he'd come clean and talk to me about it, if there's a problem.
Well, Rory,
I guarantee I'm sorry, Billy. I guarantee that if Billy confided anything into you, you would come running to me and Ronnie with it.
And it would end up on the air.
Yeah, but
which would be great, but
at least I could have talked to him before I ran to you guys.
Okay, so there's one reason I didn't, okay? Second one is...
You knew that would happen, right?
Yeah. Second one is, Rory, in all honesty, think about this for a second. Why would I confide in you only to have you turn around and make fun of me for confiding in you? Because that's all you wanted. You put me down, you make fun of me. Rory, I'm having a real problem. He goes, well, because you're an alcoholic.
It's true.
It's just like, why would somebody want to come to you
for anything
with that when all you do is put them down and say they're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't leave an opening to feel a confidence where I can come speak to you about something much more personal than something involving work.
Well, I think I do have a softer side that maybe you haven't seen.
What are you, serious?
No, I think I could have...
All right, we're going to take a break. I want to separate you guys because I want you to do this on the air.
It's a night of honesty and amends. We're running Fez.
Fezzy, do you feel like the amends was made?
No, I don't feel like I got mine at all.
What is it that you wanted to hear? About the sweater?
Yes, I want him to admit that his bulbous head stretched out the neck of my sweater.
What is it that you really want from Billy?
No, I don't think I ever got the apology for lying to my fat face.
Actually, I was just finishing my stories and my lies, coming clean on that. And then, before...
the amends was still coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
know a lot of my own faults got pointed out, and a lot of blame got thrown my way.
Most of that came from me.
Yeah, that was not by me, because there's no place for resentment or righteous anger, so...
Oh, stop.
What does that
Just
mean?
be yourself. Rob has a question for you, Billy. Rob, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, since my father was an alcoholic dirtbag like Billy, I got some insight into this guy.
Good.
Number one, it's going to take a long time to get all the lies and all the deception out of this guy. He's going to go back to drinking, no doubt. Just like my father did. And my father would always boast about when was the last time he had a drink, but there's always something that's going to happen that's going to knock him back down. And it's just a weakness in his personality.
Rob, I know, that you were probably really, really hurt by your dad. I'm sorry it happened. But, when you're talking about a weakness in personality, you could say, here's Billy, 20 years of trying, but to me, there's got to be something so good in him, that he's still trying.
Well, it's part of his identity. When you hear him talk about his problems, there's almost a bounce in his voice, the same way like when he's talking about being an actor.
Well, you know what, Rob? There is a bounce, because you know what? This is the first time I'm telling these guys who I consider my friends the truth. And you know what? It feels really good to say it. And I'm not going to, disguise that. It feels good to get this out.
But once you've gotten it all out, then what?
No, then what? Then life goes on. I have other amends to make. I still have work to do. And you just try to keep sober. That's all. There's no guarantees. I'm sorry you had a hard time with your dad, but it is not just a weakness of will. It's a disease.
Well, didn't you have a hooker 2 weeks ago?
Sure.
If you had been arrested for that, you would be drinking right now, probably. Something like that
would set him back
off.
Yeah.
Something like that will set you back, and you'd be drinking right now.
See, you know what? I don't know about that. I think if I would have been rejected by her in some way, I think that may have set me off.
All right,
but you know what? I don't know. You may be right.
Rejected by a hooker?
Thank you very much, buddy. You know you're bad.
That's rough.
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry, not tonight.
John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron Fez, what's
Hey,
going on?
What can we do for you?
Yeah, what's up with that last call? A little negative there.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. And Billy knows his dad, this guy's been through alcoholism. It hurts a lot of people.
Right, but I wanted to commend Billy. I think he's doing a good job with staying sober, especially when he's like sharing a room with some guy, and the guy's in there drinking beers at night. I mean, that's crazy stuff. I mean, good job for Billy. I mean, we enjoy him here in D.C. He's a great personality on the radio, man. I love it when he comes into the studio and chimes in on things here and there.
Thank you very much, man.
Nice, Bill.
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem, Billy.
All right, see you later, pal.
Take it.
And that is the kind of stuff that you really do get out of your friends. And like Rory's going, hey, if it bothered him, why didn't he say something?
Rory doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a good heart, but he just doesn't understand. I mean, and one of the things I agonized over was, for the past 2 weeks ago, I spent like about 4 sleepless nights agonizing I had to have a talk with Rory about something. And I spent about 4 sleepless nights worrying how to handle it, just to say something to him, to stick up for myself. That's so alien to me.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking it and letting it seethe inside me, So
something, just a personal matter between you and Rory, something he said?
It was just regarding just the way I was being treated, I thought. Mm-hmm. And I asked him to stop it.
Right.
We both worked together. I just asked for a little more respect.
Did it work?
No.
And yet he still feels that he should be the one that you come to.
He couldn't help you with that much, and yet he's going to save your liver.
I'm going to no, he did stop for 2 days. All right, because it was one incident where he almost said something at the studio, and then I heard him caught himself. He goes, Billy!
He's an insult addict.
And then he didn't say anything.
He has his own addiction.
But those are the little things that I agonize over, which you really shouldn't spend a sleepless night over worrying about, just saying to somebody you work with or somebody you care about. It's like, hey, that upset me when you said that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, that's not normal. That's overly sensitive.
You're proud of yourself, Rory?
No, I'm not proud of myself. I mean, I didn't realize it was getting to you that much. I mean, I thought we were just breaking each other's balls.
Why don't you shotgun another beer in front of him? That's your way of getting even.
Now that I know this, I will be sensitive to your feelings.
I appreciate that, Rory.
You're going to drink in front of him tonight.
How long will that last?
When's the show over? Another half hour?
Hey, Lisa, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, this whole 12-step thing, that make amends for all your past stuff, that's wrong.
Why is that wrong?
You can make amends for, like, the past year. Like, oh, I'm sorry I did something wrong at the holidays or this.
Hey, let me tell you something.
That's like, when I was in college, I insulted you or treated...
Well, I mean, it depends. There's a lot of people carrying around stuff from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they end up, confronting people at the 25-year reunion, and they feel better when it's over.
Being the person that did it or the victim?
The victim will walk up, and let me tell you something. A lot of guys will go back and say, something, I was a bully when I was a kid, and it has nothing to do with drinking, but it will bother them that now that they're in adulthood, and remember that they did mean things to people.
Oh, there are things that go back almost 20 years that I still feel like that still eat at me and that I will eventually have to make amends for. Because it's different for an alcoholic. A normal human being without this disease doesn't carry around these resentments and these feelings all this stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that if you were a kid and you weren't ashamed about some mean thing that you did, you weren't much of a creative kid. Because I have a lot of things I'm going, man, what was I thinking then?
Now, here's something that interests me, Billy. I wasn't shocked tonight when I heard that you lied about times we thought you were drinking. Mm-hmm. You said you weren't, you really were. Here's what shocked me. To me, you have always been the eternal optimist. I mean, kind of an ignorance is bliss type guy, where you go happy-go-lucky through life. And that's one thing I've actually admired. You can actually have bad things happen in your life, where, a divorce or whatever, and you always, to me, looked for the positive angle in it. Like New Year's. And you came in with a list of resolutions, and I know you were absolutely serious on every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea you were harboring such negativity towards yourself. Because to me, you always seem like a really positive person, no matter what kind of crap was going on.
You know what? You're trying to be Fez, and it's like, the thing with me is I internalize my feelings so much, and the things that are bothering me, they're so in here, I don't let them show to the outside person. I don't want to show, like, the fact that I'm not strong, that I do have a flaw, because to me that's showing a sign of weakness.
I mean, I know you say you internalize little things that you probably shouldn't make such a big deal about, but on the other side of it, to me, you seem to get excited and happy over little things that most people wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It just comes down to making either a mountain out of a molehill or vice versa. It's like when things are going really bad, you take a little small thing and you're like, wow, this is great. It's just, a lot of it is, I'll compare it to a duck. On the surface, they're but underneath, they're paddling like hell. I try to put this best foot forward all the time, and this attitude, because that's the way I really like to feel, and I really work at it. To have that positive, gregarious attitude, even though inside it's like I'm not feeling it, because I have to work myself.
That part fooled me. That part fooled me.
It's not for real. I mean, it is part of that is very real, because I work very hard at getting that positive, feel good, no matter what's happening to me. Because I don't want to have to deal with the fact that what's bothering me.
I mean, you get excited if we get candy.
Yeah, well, it's the little things, It really is the little things. Like, that call just made my night.
Yeah, here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Fez. Hey, Mike.
On Fez. Welcome to D.C.
Thank you, brother.
Love the show.
Thank you.
Hey, I got to tell you, Philly, I wish you the best, but this is like a broken record. Every time you're on, it's tedious, it's boring. This crybaby routine's got to stop. Ronan says, take him behind the station, put him down like old Yeller.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, now what did that call do to you?
Nothing, because actually this is not crying or whining. This is something I've never done.
All right, but here's the thing. Are you being honest when you say nothing, or are you internalizing?
No.
Are you going to try not to act like it hurts you, or later you'll be thinking it's still eating at you?
And you'll be up all night.
All right. It did bother me a little bit.
All right, you think about it. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. It's Ron and Fez. All right, this took kind of a strange turn tonight where Billy told us that most of what happened in the last quarter of last year was a lie, and he kind of came clean on it tonight, and he wants to make his amends to me and Fez, and I guess Rory too?
Yeah. I mean, first off, let me just preface this by saying I have never done this before, so, I mean, I've never actually made amends to a person face to face, so, as you know, I'm struggling with my recovery with addiction, so I am not asking for your forgiveness. I'm just doing this to clear my soul and to make myself feel better, and hopefully you will forgive me, but it's not, this is not why I'm doing it. I'm not asking you to forgive me for the lies and my behavior. I'm doing it to help myself keep sober, to clear some of this baggage I've been carrying around with me.
Are we supposed to answer you back?
Is it supposed to be one at a time or all three of them?
No, I'll do it individually.
Okay.
Fez, I've lied to you. There have been many instances where, you would look me in the eye and I look you in the eye. I mean, things that weren't on the air, off the air. I mean, we've had disagreements, and not all of them were related to drinking. Some of them were, probably. I mean, I don't recall every incident because of the drinking, but I just want to let you know I feel terrible about having to lie to you. I feel a particular closeness with you. I enjoy working with you. I enjoy hanging out with you. You're a lot of fun. You're a kind, sincere human being. And I feel like I've hurt you by lying to you. And even in the context of a work relationship, there's a trust factor involved. And I feel like I've kind of, if not broken that trust, put a good dent in it, But that's why I feel so much better. I feel almost elation tonight getting this off my chest. And so I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly sorry for the lying and the misleading. So please, accept my amends.
Well, thank you. I will give you that much. Thank you very much. Now, am I supposed to answer you, or
I don't know,
or just say how I feel?
Sure. I mean, as long as I...
Because I really appreciate that, and I hold no grudges against you whatsoever.
That means a lot to me. I mean, honest, to hear that. Ronnie, this is probably the toughest, because you and I have been a step further into my problem, you know, and you were trying to help me and even gone with me and taking me places and giving me, you guys both gave me time off from work one night to go to a meeting and stuff. The lying to you and the sincere swearing to God and stuff, I can only say it was an act of self-preservation, because I felt I couldn't be honest with you. Because I feel if I was honest with you, I would feel like I let you down by me not being what I expected to be in your eyes, you know? And it was like, for me to say, you know what, I slipped, I screwed up, I would make me feel like a failure in your eyes. And, you know, and it's hard to be honest with you when I couldn't be honest with myself. If I couldn't admit to myself that I had a drinking problem or that, you know, I really wanted to quit or I was really sincere about it, there was no way I could be honest with you about it. You know, I lied to you. I lied to, you know, the fact when you reached out as one to another helping me and I stared you straight in the eye and lied to you. You don't know how much that hurts now. At the time, it was self-preservation. You know, because I just could not think. Looking back, there's no way in hell I could have fessed up, even when we were on the air and talking about it. Just absolutely no way. There's no way I was strong enough to deal with it. And I was like, you know what? My only way to get out of this, as I always did, was lying. And I lied. And I kept lying. And every lie mounted. And that's why this feels so good right now, to get this out in the open. Sorry. And I just want to thank you for the help you tried to give me, for being there, and the support you've been the past 60-something days I've been sober. And again, I just hope that you accept this amends in the spirit that it's given. And it truly is heartfelt. So thank you for listening to me.
And I want to say to you, I accept, and I root for you all the time. I really root for you. I think you've got a lot of good in you. And I really worry also that Fez and I, by giving you so many chances, are keeping you from being stronger in recovery. That maybe we kept you from falling farther, quicker, whatever. And I know for once you were even leaving and I brought you back, and I'm always worried about that. But I tell you, I root for you, and I'm proud of you.
Please hold no fault of your own. Anything I did on my own. You know, so.
That was very nice and very well said, Billy. Very appreciated.
You know, Rory, you and I pretty much started together. You know, you were a little before me. We kind of like, for less or worse, came through the ranks. You know, you're younger than me, and you know we butt heads a couple times, but I did lie to you face to face. I mean, it's a little different situation where you and I may be closer, you know, because we work together a lot more and we see each other a lot more and we hang out together a lot more. You know, you were there when I was drinking and partying, and it was like, and the fact that you got blamed for my relapses was wrong, even though it wasn't by me. You know, the fact that I wanted to hang out with you, and part of that may have been true, you know, but it wasn't your fault. Never was. You know, did I want to be 25 again and single and be able to hang out and party? Yeah. And, you know, it took me a while to realize that I couldn't. You know, I'm not. So, you know, I lied. I deceived. I was like, I planned out all of these lies a lot in advance so I could stick by my story. You know, and to come clean to you would be coming clean to everyone. And that just couldn't happen. I couldn't do that. You know, it's not that I didn't trust you, but it's not a question of trust. It was a question of, for me, looking out for me, saving my ass, saving my job, saving my life, you know. And so I just want you to understand that. It wasn't for any other reason that I didn't tell you the truth, that it was self-preservation for me, because I was scared stiff to come clean to anybody, because I was afraid of the repercussions and I was afraid of myself. So, again, I'm sorry. I hope you accept my apology. Don't take it personally. I didn't come to you. I didn't go to anybody. So,
I definitely accept your apology. And you know, anytime you need anything, you know, I'm there for you.
I appreciate it.
Even though I haven't experienced as much as you or as any other people that might be helping you, but maybe I might be able to help you in some sense, and just let you know that I'm always there for you.
Thanks. And just finally, you know, I know a lot of listeners sometimes feel like they're fed up with my whining or crying or behavior and stuff. Just let them know this is all very real. And if this sounds like it got old, I just, I apologize for that, but this is unfortunately is life. This is, and my life happens to be here on the air, on the radio, so, and, guys, just bear with me, and hope with the grace of God, I'll maintain my sobriety day by day, and I'll still be around, so thank you.
Should you say something to Cameron so he feels all part of it?
No, Cameron.
Included?
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you did bring that up. No.
Anyway.
I'm glad you did bring that up. And this is, I feel bad for Cameron because he's never actually met someone like me.
Me neither.
He's never had to deal with somebody who is an actual addict, an alcoholic, and has been to rehabs and has seen life as I've seen it. There's been a lot of hell in my life, which I don't blame on anybody. This is just the hand I've been dealt. I used to blame everyone and everyone for everything that went wrong in my life instead of just pointing the finger and looking at myself, So, Cameron, if I made you feel uneasy and, looking at me like, oh, my God, he took drugs or, he was in rehabs, I'm just a human being who's made mistakes. And, please don't look at me any differently. Don't think I'm an ogre or I'm going to rub off on you or
You're just a
like
boy
that.
trying to tell a girl that you love her.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Cameron, please, understand that and accept me as I am, so.
Bill, you're a great guy. You don't even need to say any of this to me, but thank you very much.
But you know what? This is what you guys don't understand is...
I think he needs an amends for the amends.
I'm doing this for me.
Yeah, like you do everything.
No, this is different because this is sincere. There's a whole big difference between ego and sincere.
I'll say this. I gave him a hug, and I smelled alcohol in his breath.
Yeah.
And I know it took courage and that you needed a pop before you came in, but I don't think that's the way.
All right, can I ask you this, Billy?
Sure.
Now that everything seems to be out in the open, and you can look me in the eye and tell me the truth, we got like 2.5 minutes left here. The weekend of the blizzard, when the blizzard blew through Sunday and Monday up the northeast.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Did you drink?
Absolutely not.
When we had President's Day off?
Absolutely not.
You didn't drink?
I would not sit here and be as sincere and make amends to you and show you my 60-day chip, how proud I am of it, if I drank that weekend. Absolutely, not even close. I went to 2 meetings that weekend in the snowstorm.
One time when you were high, you told me your real name was Lionel. Was that true?
I don't recall.
Yeah. But it's not your real name?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
All right, there goes that one. So I got to return the cufflinks.
Okay.
Great.
No, but Faz,
And you were never in Vietnam?
Not that I recall.
He's in a Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's a half-truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Billy, that's enough for tonight.
Yep.
You got an hour before last call.
For someone who's never done this before, you did it really well.
Yeah, you did it good.
It was a lot tougher than I expected,
I'd never seen anyone do that before. But I know you were wondering if you could do it before you started.
Yeah.
And you seem to have it down.
Well,
I felt like Scarecrow when you said that you like me best of all.
Is that what you actually said?
No, I just...
All right, you get the balloon then.
I just want to thank you all for giving me the time to do this and clearing my soul.
All right, stop saying stuff.
I know. Is it going to be a night of apologies? You're going to bump into me on the elevator?
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry. I know bumping into you has hurt you in ways that I cannot imagine.
I swear to you, I'm getting rid of the backpack, and everything I own will be put on wheels.
I would appreciate that. That amends I would accept.
And Billy's the one who's supposed to be an actor and has the hardest time.
Billy couldn't pull it off at all tonight.
Yeah.
Billy's really wacky tonight. I don't know what's going on. I always wonder on a Monday. I know we had amends on Friday.
Yeah.
But I always wonder on a Monday if this was the weekend that fell off that wagon one more time and got run over by it.
Do you honestly think he started drinking again?
I never doubted on a Monday.
I will call him in and ask him after this. We'll take a quick break.
We'll see if there's more amends tonight. Here comes Billy Staples into the studio.
All right, Billy, I know you're on the phones. You didn't hear this. Fez actually accused you, before we come into the break, of being a little drunk tonight.
Based on what, Fez?
I always wonder on a Monday to begin with. Mm-hmm. That's my natural suspicion. But during that comedy pyramid, you were so extra wacky, it made me start to wonder. You got really silly in here.
Wacky, silly how? I just got confused with the guy's name.
I know, and then you gave out this maniacal laugh right into the microphone, and you know we don't do that in here.
You think maybe your meds are messed up?
No. I was just caught a little off guard, and I effed up, and that was like my nervous laughter.
I know, before the show you were singing in here, which was odd.
There's nothing.
I have a little tape of you earlier. So that might be part of the manic problem you were talking about, Fez.
Maybe that's what it is.
There's nothing wrong with being in a good mood.
I know, but I can't tell if your mood is alcohol-induced or not sometimes. And I always wonder on Monday. I always worry about you over the weekend.
You've never seen me in an alcohol-induced mood while at work. It's always been after.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Only the one night, the lobster claw night.
Lobster claws, and a lot of times when you're hungover, you're as good as drunk. You're like David Wells.
Yeah, I mean...
You're still half drunk.
There have been sometimes where...
I'm not saying you can't pitch a perfect game.
All right, Billy, you came in the other night, shocked me and Fez and Rory by doing amends for us.
That's correct.
And how do you feel about that? Did you have a chance to talk with your sponsor?
Yeah, we talked over the weekend, and he thought it was a very good idea. He wishes I would have talked with him about it first, just to do it. But I said, you know what? It was very spur of the moment, and it felt right to do it at that time.
Yeah.
But, because I was ready.
Yeah, and because this is an anonymous program, right, where everyone is not supposed to know everything about everybody else.
Correct.
Is it a bad idea if I tell everyone your last name is Hine?
Probably would. Probably would.
Okay, that's a rule of thumb.
All right, so we're trying to find the guidelines, looking for that, yeah.
What do I call you?
Billy's fine.
Okay, Billy.
Billy H.
You can go with Billy S.
Billy H. Staples. Staples is the stage name. You can see that on IMDb if you go to Billy Staples.
Which there's been more added, I might add.
Oh, is there? You might add that there's been more added.
We'll have to check that out a little bit later. So, yeah, the amends, I was not expecting it, and I definitely wasn't expecting it, what we got last week, as actually eloquent as you put it.
You put it very nice. Although when you look back on it, the thing that you did apologize for was lying to us about the last time you fell off the wagon, and we said, Billy, you're drinking again, and you swore to us that you weren't. So it's kind of odd, like when Fez goes, I think you're drinking, and then you go, no, and you feel a little snippy, but you've already lied to us about this. I guess that's part of your baggage.
I have a previous history to go on.
Well, yes, and one of the things that takes a long time to build back is trust. And the only way you can do that is by not drinking, showing up, not being drunk, and being honest and truthful. And
to me, it'll mean a lot more when you get rid of the Xanax. That's when I'm going to think he's serious. I know he's the only one that can sleep on the train. I know he's popping the Xanax. I can sleep on the train if I have Xanax.
Sure. And you go right out on the train. I mean, for the whole damn ride.
You try eating a half a bottle of Xanax and see if you can stay awake.
I dare you.
I mean, they're gonna let you. If you're going to let a guy draw your teeth, you can honestly sleep on the train. I slept for 5 minutes on the train. My neck hurt like hell.
Oh, yeah.
It bothered me all weekend.
Not me. I was out like a light.
I know, and your leg was turned your leg was turned on you like you were adding money. That's a little drunken alcohol and drug joke.
No, it's just, it's that time where when I put my mind to it, I can go to sleep. When I know it's like nothing, we don't have to accomplish anything. It's just relaxing time.
Now, I know
when you put your mind to it, there's nothing you can do unconscious.
I know when you did your amends to us, I was kind of touched. Fez was touched. Rory, first hurt that you didn't come to him for help. And then you were kind of touched, Rory, in your own way.
Yeah, I definitely
Although you feel like you have some supernatural powers that everyone should bring their problems to you.
Well, just if he could, if he wants help, I can help him.
A person who's a drunk.
Well, I've experienced in that too, so.
Yeah. Yes, the wrong kind of experience.
Yes, if he needs to know what goes into a slippery nipple, he can come to you.
Do we have to dump out of that?
I don't think so.
No, that's fine.
It's a drink. It's a drink, Cameron.
It's a drink. We're not saying someone's nipple is actually slippery. That would be...
That would be wrong.
Yeah. And it's not like it's the slippery D.
Right. Although, good drink.
Protein. All right, we're going to line up the other guys because they weren't with us last week so that you can do your stuff for them. So bring them all in, Mikey D, Hawk. And Mikey, of course, we'll let Mikey go first. We'll bring Hawk, Wonder Boy, all the guys.
And Harry Elvis.
Come on in here, guys.
Here they are. They're all lined up.
Yeah. And Amends works how, Billy, for people that aren't in the program?
Amends helps me spiritually because it cleanses my soul, shall we say, of things that I've been carrying around with me and the lies and whatever. I mean, I'm doing it to help me stay sober and to mend broken fences.
Would you say it's a douche for the soul?
Yeah, probably. I think that'd be a fairly good analogy.
Thank you.
Just cleaning everything out. Nice. Now, is it a later step?
Yeah, it's a ninth step.
All right, so it's pretty, far into the 12 steps.
Your problem is you made this without doing the other 8 steps.
Well, no, I'm doing the first. You do the first 3 kind of concurrently.
Right.
The first 3 kind of go, at the same time, and the 4th step.
That's convenient.
Well, yeah, it is because it's there and I got my 4th step workshop I'm going to.
You know what? So, in my opinion, there's really only 9 steps.
Exactly. If the first 3 are all, that's freedom of religion,
Right.
speech, and assembly.
Yeah, why bother us?
No, that's the moral rights, I think.
Whatever.
No, actually, the first 3 steps are daily steps, that you have to learn to admit your powerlessness. God can help you, and you want to let him. I can, he can, so let him. It's things that you have to do in order to get sober, in order to get through the rest of the steps.
But the stuff with us, why you leaped ahead to the 9 steps, because you said this was eating at you.
It was time.
Yeah.
There comes a point where, we were talking about it, and I said, you know what, I can't carry this around with me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys all ready to get your amends? You feel like you can take it seriously and not... Just say it, we're on the radio.
Not joke around?
Yeah.
All right, everyone's in agreement that they will, Billy... I know you get your balls busted around here, but they'll take it very seriously, and everyone's willing to listen to you.
This is part of his program, so Mikey D first.
I just want to say that Friday night, when I did, speak with about my amends, I felt such a relief actually getting a chance to say that, and to be as honest and forthcoming. It felt such a good to get that out of me.
All right, so we found out Friday that Billy, times where he told us he wasn't drinking, even though we had people calling into the show saying, hey, I spotted your man Staples over the weekend. He was denying all of it. Mikey D, you were actually one of those witnesses.
Right. Yeah, I actually saw it in his glory.
What did you see, sir?
I saw him knocking down plants, beer bottles, bumping into people, just ridiculous type of games at this...
Drunken games.
Yeah, drunken games. Heine for a Heine and doing shots. Now, I don't know if he did the
shot.
shot.
What was said about your lovely wife, Mrs. D?
Right, and then when he introduced me and my lovely wife, he said, if anyone wants to do my wife, go ahead, everyone else has. So that was a moment.
Classy.
All right, so, and even though I don't believe you said anything wrong, that's between you and Billy now. So go ahead.
Well, again... I have to make amends from all my behavior, drunk or not, and believe it or not, most of that was done sober. But that does not take away from the fact of, what I did was wrong to say things like that around you and your wife, and I am a natural klutz normally. So, but I know there's been times where I've upset you, and I was not aware of it. I know there's been times where you've thought enough about it, you've gone home and left it in your diary where I have upset you. And, again, I sometimes would do things without knowing, especially when I'm not drinking but not in program, where I'm in a dry drunk kind of state, where I might just as well be drinking because I'm so nasty and I'm miserable, and, and you snap and you say things all the time. So, there's been a lot of times like that where I've made those mistakes even though I wasn't drinking. I might as well have been for the things I've said.
Well,
and to you and to Helen, in front of all those people, and, God forbid, Lene, if there's anything there.
Yeah, you made Lene cry, too, once.
All right.
That's his 5-year-old daughter.
How did he do that?
Sat on her?
He scared the hell out of her one day.
How?
He pulled off a wig that he was wearing, and he scared the hell out of her at Hooters.
Okay.
We're sick guys. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, but like I say, I cannot list every individual episode, just the few that really come to mind, that really stick out. And it really bothered me when I knew that you were upset enough with me with something I had done that you left it in your diary. I cannot change the past. All I can change is the present and hopefully the future. So just understand that I'm sorry for my behavior, that I apologize for it to you and your family. And if there's anything I can do to make it right, you let me know.
Okay, Billy.
That's very nice.
I hope you're serious, though.
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
You accept that, Mikey D?
I hope you're serious. You know what?
You mean it?
You'd have a battle with me, Mikey, with that. All right, who's next? I guess Wonder Boy. Go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and line Wonder Boy up here. He'll be next right after Mikey D. Amends tonight on the Ron and Fez show from Billy Staples.
Wonder Boy. Let me see. Amends. It's a tough one. I really don't see any amends I have to make to you.
I'll tell you.
No, you don't. This is the thing for me.
I know, but let him say. Maybe you can't remember.
How about this? We had people call over the summer that said you were drunk. You told me not to put them through. You said all that. I don't want that to come up. It couldn't be true. I'm like, Billy, this lady called 3 or 4 times. She knows stuff about you. You go, and you hung up on her. I think you could apologize for not letting me do my job.
I think that apology, that amends was when I made it to Ron and Fez because it's basically their show.
I know, but you put him in a bad situation where he knows that he would get in trouble with me and Fez.
And you were supposed to be training him at that point.
No, but the amends there was to you because it affects the Ron and Fez show.
All right, so you don't get it, and he doesn't get one?
Never gives me an effing apology, this guy.
But do you have anything big that maybe you can get amends for? I mean, he cried during his amends to me. He's got nothing for you.
No, he has nothing for me. I don't know, Billy. Whatever. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, now he's mad.
Now the headphones got thrown. Nice.
You know what? You babies that throw headphones and look at him. He's just walking out.
No, he just leaves.
They act like these headphones are free because they're not paying for them.
Right.
But all these
and that
things
they don't
cost
break.
money. Stop throwing headphones.
They're not made of titanium.
You know what? We should make these out of China so people will stop throwing them. All right, Harry Elvis.
They do say that some people will react like that, so I should have...
Well, yes, for getting an amends that they don't like. He didn't get one. That's what he's mad about.
Honey, I didn't forget an amends. You know, I make an amends where proper, where it's appropriate.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Harry Elvis.
Hi, Harry. Another one. Harry, you know, you're a good kid. I mean, you're very, very funny, but there's really nothing I think that I have amends to make to you on either.
I don't know. I think at times your judgment was a little clouded, and I think that may have had to do with, you know... With
what?
With his problem. Like, there were times where he would fall asleep, like right at the phones, or he would just not be there. You know, and I'd be sitting next to him, and I'd have to nudge him awake while, you know, phones were ringing.
Is that true, Billy? You sleep as a switch?
Never slept. Closed my eyes.
How many times
though.
have I told these bastards you're asleep on the phones? And it sounds like I'm a maniac.
I had no idea it was actually true.
Well, if it was true, I would make amends for that right now. I would close my eyes on a commercial break, but I never actually slept.
Ron and Fez...
you know, the phones ring throughout the entire 4 hours. Not just when Ronnie and I are talking on the air.
And also, last time I checked, Ron and Fez don't do the show during the commercial break. You know, they were talking and doing topics, and you would literally have your eyes closed, and I have to nudge you. So, you know, while the whole screen is going blue with phone calls.
Well, that's a character defect that I will work on in my 4th step.
Well, you know what? I accept your amends.
I didn't make you an amends.
You didn't get one.
Now, can you accept an amends if you don't get one?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's covered.
Never been on that side of it, have you, Biggie?
I'm still accepting.
All right, so nothing for Harry.
No.
Not one thing for Harry Elvis.
All right, here's the Hawk.
Or Wonder Boy.
I mean, the things that I made amends to you for, to Ron and Fez, were blatant, right out there, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, you know, this is picking straws, but, you know, trying to find a fault.
All right, come in, Hawk.
Hey, Billy. Hi, Hawk. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. He works here.
We're doing the show.
You're an ass. Go ahead.
Hawk, basically, there's no amends to be made with you either. And I'm sorry that I haven't done anything to you to make amends for, but there really isn't. So I have no amends to make to you, Hawk. Sorry.
Okay, but if I may.
Go ahead.
When you first started here and I was training you on the phones, were you sober then?
Yes, I believe so.
Why? What was happening, Hawk?
No, he just didn't seem to be taking it seriously initially. And, you know, his mind would wander, or he would kind of like, it wasn't important to him. And I just thought he was a little cloudy in the beginning when we first hired him. And so maybe I thought, you know.
Yeah. All right, I understand.
Right.
And then there's another situation. I'm hesitant to bring up, but when he was drinking that night with lobster claws, I had to take care of him, make sure he didn't fall over people.
Oh, yeah, he was carrying you around. Perfect for an amends.
And I think he set me up with
alcohol bottles and liquor bottles and took pictures of me on the website?
No, you know that wasn't Hawk.
I did take pictures of you. I was carrying you around and trying to stop you from, like, running into walls and falling over couches and chairs.
You were falling down a lot that night, Billy, and I know I couldn't be bothered.
I thought it was Joe Pooh and Rory who were responsible for me that night.
No, we all were. It took all three of us to carry you around. Then
It takes a village to carry an idiot. All right, sorry.
So no amends for Hawk.
I believe you deserve one. Here's Tim. Tim, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Tim.
Billy, no amends to Wonder Boy. Don't you owe him a Prince Albert?
Yes, you do.
Oh, that's right, because your therapist, your sponsor, whoever said you can't get a Prince Albert, even though you lost our hockey shootout competition to Wonder Boy.
That's true, but again, if I made amends because that was my own decision, I would definitely make amends on that. That decision was not made by me personally.
Again, you are taking your responsibilities, and you're just shrugging them off.
I'm not shrugging. Did I shrug anything off Friday, gentlemen, when I bared my soul? No, I mean, this is a Prince Albert we're talking about. This is not a life-and-death situation.
I know, but I think everybody should get an amends.
Why?
They all seem to have been part of this.
We've all put up with you.
You know, you say you're giving us, Ronnie and I, an amends because it's our show, but these guys all bust their ass on the show.
Correct.
They're all part of the show.
I got to fight with that. Not one of them bust their ass. They are a part of it.
They show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there are things that happen that, when I am responsible, I take amends for.
You and Wonder Boy were in a contest. Mm-hmm. You brought up that you came up with. You came up with the rules. Mm-hmm. You even came up with the penalty of Prince Albert.
Correct.
Which was something to the end of your D.
Mm-hmm.
A bolt. Wonder Boy, you would have expected him to pay up, would you not?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And you didn't pay up when you lost.
Well, no, because after I actually lost by inches...
you still lost.
It was...
Ask the Titans in the Super Bowl.
Right, we're not saying how much you lost by. We didn't say you got destroyed, even though I believe you did.
I was all prepared to go for it. And after discussing...
what happened?
I discussed it with my therapist and my sponsor, and that's something...
How many people are taking care of that head of yours? You got a shrink that's giving you the pills, right?
Uh-huh.
A separate therapist.
A therapist.
And a sponsor.
A sponsor, right, and a medical doctor.
You might as well put that head in a jar and just pass it around.
You got a masseuse?
A massage parlor.
Yeah.
I know you have a chiropractor.
Yeah. I definitely have a
J-Lo
chiropractor.
doesn't have this big of an entourage.
Well, I've had 44 years of things that need to be taken care of, and I'm finally taking care of them.
You're only 44? That's shocking to me. I swore to God you were 64.
I thought we were having a retirement party for you next year.
No.
I thought we were giving you a gold mug.
I thought we were giving you a gold slogger.
I look very good for my age.
You don't look good for any age, no matter what age you are. Now, I got to say this, the gold slogger line was better. The gold mug, I don't know where I was going. I was just grabbing at straws. I think it's not doing the 1 hour. So you got nothing for Wonder Boy?
No. I only make amends for things that I feel regret about.
Why don't you feel regret about stiffing me?
Ew.
No, Walter on a pen.
In the can.
No, not that.
Buckwheat style.
Again,
All right, now buckwheat is only for torture with a gun.
Oh.
I don't want it to just suddenly become a homo thing.
Well, amends are monetary, too. If I owe people money, that's part of it also.
You owe him a bolt through the tip of your D.
Ronnie, the thing with amends is I decide the amends. No one else can decide that for me. I discuss them with my sponsor, things that are in my fourth step, and things that I personally feel inside that are eating at me, that are tearing at my soul, I will make amends for.
All right, so here's the thing. You're only making amends to the people that you like. The fact that you don't like Wonder Boy, Hawk, you're leaving them behind. Harry, Elvis.
All right, let me ask you this, Billy.
Sure.
I know you make your amends when you feel you're ready and in your own time. All right, Jim Baker Act. When you're finally not certified nuts anymore, and maybe you're feeling healthy enough not to be under a therapist's 24-hour watch, do you think at that point, to make the amends, you would go and get that Prince Albert? Or is that just off the table?
When is this day going to come that he'll be better? Because I'm betting the over in that, and I got $20,000 on whatever you said is the over.
When the time comes and my medical team says it'd be all right, for the Prince Albert, because like I said, it was not my personal decision.
It was your personal decision to bet it.
Have you checked back in with them to say, hey, guys, am I better enough to finally be a man and pay up yet?
No, I'm still on the medication.
You know, by the time he gets in there, Jeb Bush's daughter is going to be president.
Noel, the drug addict?
Yes. Puchimana Bush.
Billy, I swear to you, this Wonder Boy is going to stay on this. He still hasn't forgotten it. And you're going to be found in a Philly row house with a Prince Albert.
See, this is why I don't think his amends work. It's because he doesn't feel bad about it, so it's not bad. In other words, like if you're driving down the road, you hit a dog, you feel bad. You run over a cockroach, you don't feel bad. It's still bad for the cockroach.
True, you still hurt something.
Wonder Boy's a cockroach to you and not a dog.
All Wonder Boy wants to be in your life is a dog.
Well, unfortunately, the amends that he's expecting is not forthcoming at this present time.
Then I don't want my amends either. I take my amends off. I don't want it.
It's a non-returnable amends.
No. I no longer, what did I say? I forgive you or I accept it?
Yeah, you did something like that. You did say forgive.
I no longer do.
You can't.
I don't forgive you anymore.
You can't.
Yes, he can. He can see that
you don't know what's in the big book.
Thank you very much. I see that you're a liar.
How am I?
And now because of that, your amends means nothing because I don't think you have the emotional and moral fortitude.
I called you eloquent and well put. And now I think it's just pretty words that mean nothing.
You said eloquent?
Uh-huh.
I swore you said elephant. That's why I was laughing. That's why I was laughing.
He sees pink eloquence.
Guys, don't do this to me. Come on. I mean, this was very important for my sobriety, and now you're taking it away.
You know what? You ought to go have a beer. Hey, Robin, you're around a fest.
Yeah, hey, Ron. Hey, Ted.
Wait till 11. I'll go. Go ahead.
Hey, I just have to say that every time I hear Billy talking about this on the air, I'm absolutely appalled. I don't know. What kind of sponsor does he have that encourages him to use an anonymous...
Budweiser is sponsoring him. You know what? And
that's good. I was on Nike.
You know what? Let me say this, Robin, too. That bugged me as well. You're supposed to say this to me without ego, Billy, and yet doing it on the air. Showboating is the exact opposite.
This is not exactly like the poster boy for sobriety. I mean, not saying that what he has isn't good. Every day is great. But to talk about it on the air and you're supposed to be anonymous.
Okay, please understand one thing. Part of my life was on the air. And that part has to be taken care of as well as the individual. There will be a private session forthcoming between me and Ron and Fez individually.
Not until Wonder Boy says, I won't have that meeting. I'll walk out. I'll be the France on this deal. I'll veto not only mine, but I'm taking back Fez's, Rory's, and Mikey's amends. Because we have a veto thing. We're like the Doors when we sell our songs to commercials. Any one of us can stop it.
I think
Hear that, Roy Belgium? We're taking it back.
I think you would have had to have said that before the amends.
No, the amends is off. It means nothing to me. And not only that, I think your sponsor owes me an amends.
Why?
For doing such a crappy job. For doing such a crappy job.
I'm 70 days sober. What's a crappy job?
70 days. I don't believe you.
Why not?
I believed you last year when you told me you were sober.
I have the chips this time.
I don't.
Oh, God.
You lie to them, you lie to everybody.
I'll get you a can of Pringles. It's worth the same thing.
Let me say this. I almost did a Pringles joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Are there tonight,
I know, but I'm right behind you, and I'm always coming up short. I'm noticing that. Starting to bug me. Here's Chandler Bang. You're on a Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, no problem. I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How about some amends for the callers, for Billy showing up to the show all looped up on pills, for him constantly botching the intros, for him hanging up on people that are on hold, for him welching out on every bet he's ever made on the show. Where's the apology for us?
Yeah.
I did make that Friday evening. I did apologize to the callers and to the listeners.
They don't accept it.
I dozed off after I got mine.
Not one of us accepts.
Well, I think the callers and listeners will. If they're listening to me now, if anybody missed it, I apologize to them.
All right, this would be the apology to me.
Okay.
If you lie on your back and we blindfold you and you open your mouth, and we're either going to pour 7-Up in your mouth or 7 and 7, and you won't know.
No, I'm not going to take the chance on relapsing. My sobriety is too important to me right now.
You had a chance.
When did you ever lapse?
Well, that's
that you're relapsing.
Why don't you do this?
When did I ever have?
We put just a whiskey ice cube in your mouth.
Oh, get out of here.
We dip it in whiskey in your mouth, and when you suck on it and it's gone...
Whiskey ice chips.
Everything is forgotten about.
You just rub it on your lips.
Why would you want to put alcohol in my system? You see what it does to me?
I didn't want that. What I wanted was a decent amends for Wonder Boy and me.
There is no amends that involves the consumption of alcohol.
That's the name of my new book I'm writing. It's called Wonder Boy and Me.
Nice. It's a children's book.
And it's kind of superheroes. It's good. Barbara, you're on Run and Fuzz.
Hello, Barbara.
Hi, guys. I just want to say that I, too, have a problem with the way Billy is communicating. It would seem to me that there should be a little bit more authenticity and a little bit less defensiveness.
Thank you.
It's like everything anybody says to him, he gets all bristled up about it.
And
like,
he's
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Those aren't amends.
And here's what kills me, Billy. You're telling these guys what they should be heard about.
No, Barbara, everyone that I made amends to who got an amends, it was not defensive. The only time I'm being defensive is when people are asking for amends that do not deserve them.
Well, you see, and that's part of the disease, I believe, is that you hurt a heck of a lot more people than you realize you're hurting, and to be authentic about trying to make the amends means that you have to recognize the fact that you did hurt people, even though you don't think you did.
You better recognize.
You know why I don't think he can recognize? I think he's drunk now.
That's what I always ask on a Monday.
Stone cold sober.
Now.
I'm sober as a church mouse.
And you know what?
What do you mean? What the hell does that mean? You're comparing yourself with a mouse?
It's a saying. Sober as a church mouse.
A drunk saying? No, sober person.
Oh, no. That's quiet as a church mouse.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Stoop. Drunk stoop. You know, I brought this up on Friday after the amends, and I asked you, and you know what? Now that we're seeing how shoddy these amends are and how flimsy they are, I'm going to bring this up again.
Wait, my amends are not shoddy or thin.
Oh, yeah, second.
Most emotion carries. I think you were drinking the blizzard of President's Day weekend.
Why? Because I did not shave?
Because I saw you on Tuesday and you had all the telltale physical signs of when you've come in hungover.
Did I have a bruise?
Did you have a bruise? No.
No, that's usually the sign of when I'm,
That's an extreme sign, but everything else, your mood, your look, your hair.
Anytime he feels like he doesn't bleed, then he's handling himself.
Yeah, then it was, I have no problem drinking, because you know what? I didn't lop off a finger cutting limes for my Coronis.
What is it, Mikey?
I remember the end of that night, he walked out and says, is anybody else sweating? And that was another telltale sound.
That happens a lot when he is hungover. Thank you, Mikey D. President's Day weekend, when we got back in here on Tuesday, you had all the earmarks of being hungover.
President's Day, I went to my therapist. I crawled through the snow, which was unplowed in front of her house, to get to my session.
The therapist was meeting people on a national holiday? In a blizzard?
Yep.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is one hell of a therapist and sidewalk shoveler.
That's a drunk lie.
I absolutely went there. And
hear that? That's a lie, drinking.
I'm sorry you don't believe me. I can't do anything to change your mind. It's just because I didn't shave and because I may have had a touch of the flu or something, and I was sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, Fezzy, that's another disease he has, the flu.
Oh, okay.
It's not just alcoholism, it's the flu.
Could someone pour me a flu shot?
You got the cocktail flu is what you got, my friend.
70 days sober and happy as a clam.
Would you stop with the cliches? You're as drunk as a clam.
You're putting clam juice in your Bloody Marys is what it is.
You know what? You're 70 days sober and as dull as a clam.
Well, I can't help it if I'm trying to defend my amends.
Yeah.
It's like you took them, you can't give them back.
Someone do the math for me. What's today, March 3rd?
Yeah.
All right. President's Day was February 17th. That's how many days sober.
Mikey, you're on that. Figure it out. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show, Robert.
Go ahead, Rob.
Hook him up to a lie detector test. He's lying through his teeth.
All right, well, do you want to do this?
Stutters.
Would this help you best that you do the amends, and I'll accept it if you're hooked up to a lie detector?
A real one?
Yes, a real one.
I don't really believe in them.
Thank you very much.
They're not valuable. They're not
to me,
accepted in court.
The person that wants to forgive you, they're valuable.
No, but I mean, if they're not permissible in court, why would they hold up here?
It's for me.
Yeah, but what if it gives a false positive?
Like your pregnancy test? And by the way, you're 14 days sober.
I am not 14 days sober.
14 days? Go get your 2-week chip.
No, they don't have 2-week chips.
Go get your whiskey chip. And suck on it because you're drunk.
You know,
get some chips from Rick the bartender.
Diminishing my sobriety is not helping my
Does that get
sobriety.
your free beer? Hold on. Does that get your free beer by mentioning his name?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Is he buying you guys? Is there buybacks going on?
I pay for the beer.
Dan, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Don't you owe an amends to Al Dukes for dropping mud on his paycheck?
That's true, Billy.
That's right.
You wiped your ass with his paycheck.
Yeah, I don't see Al anymore.
Shameful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It is shameful. It's awful.
It says, whenever possible to find someone, just responsible for the effort. If I don't see him, I don't know.
What effort? You're doing nothing but sitting there.
All right, let's say some drunk ran over someone's mother.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Let's say baby.
All right, let's say some drunk named Billy H. Staples, ran over a baby while drunk.
Okay.
All right, chances are, other than the courtroom, you're not going to run into that family very often. So the fact that you never see them again doesn't mean that you shouldn't offer them an amends?
You're going to make your amends to God. Through him to them.
Not the family who lost a baby.
No,
Heavenly Father, I apologize.
No, if there's somebody you can't reach or you feel it wouldn't be appropriate to approach.
You could reach Al. It would not be difficult.
But you can make your amends spiritually.
Well, then make one to Wonder Boy if it's this easy.
If I felt that he was doing amends, I'd do it verbally. Why would I do it spiritually?
Billy, you're the worst person ever.
That part is true. That part I 100% agree with. And that includes this monkey we just caught the other day in
Ron, that's
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
No.
He would give me an amends before you would.
He won't even speak your language.
How do you know? The guy's supposedly a genius. What is it, Harry? You're hanging around here like doom over my shoulder for 5 minutes.
I remember about 3 Fridays ago, Rory asked Billy if he had started drinking, and he said no. And then he almost, he was sweating, and then outside he almost slipped trying to hail a cab. Just like, he was just a drunken mess.
It's
really.
called winter?
No, no one else stumbles. No one else was on concrete.
Rory says he has a story that happened after we stopped seeing them Saturday morning, Fizz.
Oh, when we got off the train?
Yeah, we came back to the station with all our luggage and stuff, and we had to drop off the equipment here at the studios. And literally, he's walking down the hall and just falls flat on his face, and the bag just falls right onto his back. I mean, it was...
How do you fall underneath your own luggage?
And there wasn't like he tripped over like a bump or anything. It was flat floor. It was just carpeted.
And just went down like a drunk would.
When's the lawsuit against Infinity start?
Yeah.
I heard this loud crash, and I turn around, and I just see the luggage on his back, and he's flat on his face. And I'm like
our burro gave out underneath the weight of the pack.
Billy wants a law passed to make steps drunk friendly. You should start taking a handicap ramps.
I mean, there's no way a sober person would just trip over its own feet and fall flat on his face.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, I tripped. Yes, I did. I fell down. Yes, I tripped over the seam in the rug or something.
Oh. What's on that rug? And why can't we get carpet cleaners?
But when could I have possibly been drinking when you were with me that whole time?
That's the Xanax.
All right, Billy, here's one way you can make an amends. You see the big picture of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed we have in the studio. You have to kiss it. You have to kiss Khalid Sheikh Mohammed on the lips.
I do not owe Khalid Sheikh Mohammed an amends.
This is the way to make amends. Kiss the Sheikh.
No.
Kiss Khalid.
How far is it to kiss a piece of paper?
He's a terrorist.
Kiss him.
No.
He's a terrorist, but you're worse.
I am not worse than a terrorist.
You're a beerist. That's what you are. You're a beerist.
I have made mistakes, but they never involved the...
Billy.
What?
When you got on the train the other night.
Yeah.
You take Xanax before?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And you consider yourself sober.
I am on prescription.
Kiss Khalid.
I am not kissing Khalid. There aren't enough...
let me say this. I think I was the worst drug addict in the world. And I always cut my buddies in with pills. I never would make 3 guys sit there uncomfortable while I sat there and bogarted the Xanax.
I could not do that under good conscience. Because their prescription, they weren't gained illegally.
Oh,
they weren't ill-gotten.
You can only give away illegal drugs.
Well, yeah, because
you're the cheapest man out there.
No, I would always share my illegal drugs, but the fact that these are legal and my psychiatrist counts them, and he wants to know how many I've used and stuff like that, and I would have, it would be very difficult to explain.
How many did you do? 8? 9?
No.
More than 9? 2.
You were passed out.
I was tired, too.
We were tired, but we can't sleep on a train. Well, let's stop it every 2 minutes.
Well, these two didn't shut up for 5 minutes. They were playing cards, learning how to play salad. You were watching a movie. Of course you didn't sleep. I was all by myself. Of course I'm going to sleep. No one's talking to me. Billy. No one's playing cards with me. No one's letting me watch a movie with them.
Yes, because you give cheap amends.
Let me tell you this. Billy, there's basically an empty car. There was like 8 of us on the full car.
Right.
He attempts to sit next to me. I go, get the F out of here. I am not.
He likes you.
He sponged into 2 seats when we have 100 to choose from.
It was just force of habit. We always sit together on the train.
Yes.
When it's a casual conversation or something.
Packed train, no.
I thought maybe that's me to watch the movie.
Yeah. You know what? I can share the headphones with you.
Right. Ronnie gets the left ear, you get the right. Snuggle up, Bunny.
I just thought it was an empty train. You could just play the volume.
I wish I could be bored all night, but we got to take a break, Billy.
Howard Stern, Don and Mike, Bill O'Reilly, Ron and Fez, and the Washington Redskins. 106.7 WJFK.